Pete's Tech Den, show number 1. I'm your host, Peter Dennert, and with me is my good friend and twice roommate, Kolton Mann.
Yep.
Graduated from the great University of Grace. So what are you up to these days, Buck?
Well, you know me, but the world doesn't know me.
Yep.
Well, like you, graduated in May, but you got a job right off the bat. And I'm still in school, kind of going to grad school in education. So that's kind of what's been taking up most of my time, that and just helping out at a youth group.
And sleeping.
Sleeping's good. I do enjoy sleeping. That's one of my favorite things ever, all time.
Yeah.
I'm getting really good at it too.
Yeah. You got any tips for us unprofessionals?
Unprofessionals.
Or I say non-professionals.
Take advantage of sleep. I've learned that it is a gift, but you don't want to use it too much. I don't know.
Oh.
4 hours of sleep is not really sleep. That's like a long nap. I don't know. Just going back to college, it was always seemed like I was always had to catch up on sleep on the weekends. And even when there was breaks, it was like I'm sleeping through breaks because staying up late and getting up early for classes, it feels like you lose out on a lot of that just going through college.
Yep, all those wonderful.
So I'm still behind. I'm still behind probably from college. So maybe that's why I'm sleeping so much these days. Trying to catch up. Trying to get balance back into the world of life.
Yes. Yeah, I think I'm very far behind in that game, the game of sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get a new chair. This one squeaks. I just probably need to spray some oil on it.
Got any oil? You have to go get it.
Actually, I do have some WD-40 in my closet, along with I think I have a lighter in there too.
Whoa!
You know.
Lighter? What are you gonna do?
I got it at a White Elephant gift exchange. I used it on
flamethrow stuff. Is that what you're up to?
I don't know about flamethrowing. I don't know. I probably won't do that. That can end up with a big bang.
That's true.
We still had 0 viewers.
That's okay.
But you guys gotta start. You gotta start somewhere. Everybody's gotta start at 0.
I mean, at least we didn't start at negative. Now that would have been something.
That would have been that would take some true talent, I think.
I think it would.
Although I did see, like, right before I set up the Google Hangout that Tara Rai had added me to her circle.
Hey. That's cool.
And when I do something like this, I have it set up so that it posts out to my Google Plus.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, see, I'm like not very apt about. I don't even know if that's the right word, but um, I don't know all the capabilities that Google Plus has.
yeah,
I mean, it looks like there's a lot, and there could be a lot to learn. And it's a social thing too.
yeah, I'm just learning. I saw these people using the Google Plus on their own podcast and the cool like switching the camera back and forth between who's speaking, and I was like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, next I got to figure out how to get it so that when I do it, it'll just automatically post out to Facebook.
Oh yeah.
But
I know. When I was messing around with the podcast for one of my classes, I think it's called Ustream,
okay,
and they had different versions. You had the pro version, and then they had just like the I don't know, just the free stuff.
okay, free
And
is good.
like I logged in through Facebook,
Mm,
and it would auto share with Facebook. So I thought that was just a neat thing. If I was gonna ever use that for anything, that would
yeah,
be pretty simple just to share it there. But
yeah. I have to see whether my little app IFT would do it. Or I suppose, I mean, I can always just post it out there just to do it the manual way. Okay, well, maybe we should get to the topic at hand.
yes, I'm totally out of the loop with this thing. What's the topic?
Oh, it's this. I talked to you about this. Probably, I don't know. It's probably been like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but it was about you know, whether we could develop like a computer or that was better than a human, kind of.
Oh
If you
yes.
could take technology to the point where it would surpass humans. That's kind of interesting, kind of like thinking about it, like kind of thinking about it periodically over the last few weeks. Because I saw this, somebody posted this on Facebook. I can't find who, but I found the quote. But it's by Stephen Hawking. So
Oh, hey.
kind of giving the, I guess, kind of giving the worldly perspective on this.
Gotcha.
But he was talking about it, and he was like, to quote him, he said, it would take off on its own, and oh wait, I started too far down. Where did he? Oh, up there. Okay, that the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. It would take off on its own and redesign itself at an ever-increasing rate. Humans are limited by slow biological evolution, couldn't compete, and would be superseded.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they kind of continue on. He's like, I believe we'll remain in charge of technology for a decently long time, and the potential of it to solve many world problems would be realized. But it kind of sounds like kind of leaves the door open. And it kind of, and the end of the article goes, we cannot know what will happen if a machine exceeds our own intelligence. So if we cannot know if we'll be able to infinitely be helped by it, or ignored by it and sidelined, or conceivably destroyed by it.
Yeah, it makes you think just about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, from a world perspective, it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you look at the world through like an evolutionary worldview where we're just evolving, it would
Mm-hmm.
make sense that kind of going on to the next, survival of the fittest, whatever the next great thing is.
Yeah. I think it, like, on the other hand, like, it poses different questions. Like, just thinking about what he had to say, I was thinking about, well, if this AI, whatever, advanced AI that surpasses human knowledge, I mean, there's the question, well, can something created think about thinking? So, like, kind of that metacognition, can it think about thinking?
Right.
And also, the other thing I was thinking about is, what was it? Think about thinking, and I mean, what's the basis of? Is it a basis of just higher intelligence? Is it just knowledge, just information, just has it just memorizes more information? Like, is that what you're basing it off of, or it's like, what's your basis of? Okay, yes, now this thing has surpassed the potential or really what humans are. Is it just knowledge of facts? Like, that would be my question for that. That kind of, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm being clear.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's kind of like, how do you define better kind of a thing? Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
I mean, because you definitely have, like, whatever computers Google uses has way more knowledge in them than any one human does. But does that make it better?
Right.
And I kind of feel like the way he was going was kind of like where like technology and artificial intelligence would get to the point where it could be self-sustaining and like survive on its own. And like I think you'd have to get to a point where like it would almost like it would reproduce itself and be able to improve on itself.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was kind of interesting because I feel like this discussion like it plays into things like in everyday life, and like one of the big discussions right now with drones. I mean, where do you go with because way drones are going more and more toward an automated, basically an artificial intelligence that's running the an aircraft or.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they started off where they just basically took the pilot out of the aircraft and put him
Right.
miles away.
Yeah. And that could be just interesting in itself if you just had military drones programmed to, take out things or take out people on its own without having really any command over which targets, to choose from.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it'd be programmed into it, but there's no human aspect of it. It just goes. I don't know.
But yeah, because I thought about it, with that, and then kind of thought of, in high school, I took some computer programming, and when you begin to sit down and actually like program something, like you have to understand like what you're programming. Like if you were gonna say you were gonna like write a program to solve like a Rubik's cube, you have to understand solving the Rubik's cube to a certain point to just solve it yourself. But when you go to program it, you have to understand it even better.
Yeah.
And it's like, it kind of came to the idea, like, I mean, like, I don't know, I kind of feel like, logically, like, it's kind of impossible for us to invent something that's, would be better than us.
So create something better than its creator.
Yeah, because, it's kind of, the thing with leadership, like, you can only take somebody as far as you've gone. Which I actually I ran across this, I just ran into this topic in a bunch of different places. Like, I came across, I was reading in Luke, and it's Jesus talking. It's right after the whole, judge not, and you will not be judged. After the love your enemies kind of passage in Luke 6. But in Luke 6:40, he says, a disciple is not above his teacher, but everyone who, when he is fully trained, will be like his teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thought. I don't know. And of course, I mean, if you bring if you bring, really, God into it, then you run into the whole, can the creature create something better than the creator could create?
Right. And like from a biblical perspective, when God created man, he said it was good, right?
Yeah.
Or great, one of the two. Very good, very good. He said everything else was good, and then man was very good. But if man creates something, I mean, it's given that God has given us the ability to create. I think just part of mankind. We are able to create things. That's just the fact. But that doesn't mean God, how great it is to mankind, it doesn't make it the equalness to what God has seen in man. You know what I'm trying to say? So to say, okay, God created man and it was very good, but God never said the thing that man's creating is very good.
Right. Yeah.
And and
I see
so
what you're saying.
that's where I think you get the point where, can something be better than its creator? And I think you'd have to say no.
Yeah. Because it seems like I have to look up Greek, but I kind of get the feeling. Uh, if I remember correctly, I kind of get the idea that, like, the idea behind him saying it was good was like, it's perfect. Like, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
But if I pull up my handy dandy Bible app, KJV, which I think I can turn on the. Oh, I'm pretty sure there's a. No, maybe wrong Bible app. I have to skip the one that says Bible study and go to the one that's called Alkitab. And then creating. And then it doesn't open. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing to open. Okay, obviously it's broken. Apparently it got broken when I switched to Yosemite. So, but I kind of get the feeling that that was what he was saying. I know that's not exactly the strongest argument. And then you kind of have to, you also have to kind of take into account that, now man has fallen. And
yeah, that's true. So just add to our point.
Yeah. Although some people use that as an argument to, oops, careful what I'm wearing, as an argument for saying that, yes, we could create something that's better. Because they say now the standard for humans is lower than perfect. So now we could create something that's better. That would fall in between what we are now and what we were before the fall.
But then you have to go back to say, like, who sets those standards? That's the argument I would have against it.
Yeah, and there's there's things about being human that's like, how do you program that into something like just like intuition, like the programming the gut feeling.
Yeah, or even like I was watching Interstellar. I don't know if you probably haven't seen that yet.
I haven't.
But they have this robot. I don't know if he has artificial intelligence, whatever. But he's programmed to, he's kind of one of those comic reliefs type roles in the movie. But you can program how funny the guy is or how frequently he says something sarcastic, and so that's still something that was programmed into him. And I don't know, and I don't. That could just be also like whoever programmed that the AI humor could be different than everyone else's humor.
Yeah.
I don't find this funny type deal as well. So.
Yeah, with what you were saying there, it kind of hit me thinking about thought. With what Stephen Hawking was saying, like essentially to create something that improved upon the human design, like the human's design of the AI, like that AI would have to have an original thought.
To improve, say that again. To improve on.
To basically okay, say you design a computer.
Yes.
For the computer to then say it goes out and it's going to improve the design. To improve on the original design, it would have to have an original thought, like something that the human didn't think about, didn't think of.
Right. And then I don't know, like also that just comes back to the idea, well, if it was going to improve on something, then it wasn't perfect in the first place.
Right. Yeah. That kind of comes back to the whole, like, how can something imperfect make something perfect? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it kind of comes back to the whole, making something out of nothing. That when you come from an evolutionist perspective, you had the Big Bang that created the universe out of essentially nothing. And then you had life come from non-life, where you essentially had something worse producing something better. Which is obviously why, when you come at it from a world perspective, it kind of just leaves the door open to it. But on the other side, like, if it were to, if it did happen, like, I kind of agree with like what Hawkins was saying about, you know, the humans be, the potential of humans being, eliminated. Like, if you had a robot that can, like, it could run forever, like, although now that I think about that, it doesn't make as much, because it couldn't, because it would. That's I mean I don't that didn't. I'll scratch that from the record, because that didn't. I I thought about it and I said something, and then I was like, no, that's not gonna work. Because even the best robots, they still require some sort of power or energy to run.
Mm-hmm.
Just same as humans do.
Yep.
And they would wear out, kind of like humans do.
Yep, they would have to just keep on getting parts and move it eventually.
Yeah, they'd have to keep reproducing, just like humans do.
Right. They'd have to reproduce. Which brings us back to be fruitful and multiply.
Yep.
So that would be something AI would have to be able to do, is not just highly function more than a human being, but be able to take what it knows and reproduce it and have that be highly functioning as well.
Right. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about how, like, I guess what you could say, some of the shortcomings you see in, like, humans with, like, having to eat and, like, wearing out, I guess, dying as well, and stuff. Like, you see the same flaws in our technology. Like, we all have to go charge our phones.
Yeah.
I mean, our phones break down. They don't do what we want them to do.
They get outdated.
And in some ways, just like the rate that technology is going right now, like, they get outdated way faster than a human does.
Mm-hmm.
So I I feel like the whole argument for creating something better, the more you look at it, the more it falls apart.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
And like, I don't know, we could probably add a little bit more, just talking about AI stuff and just how we're kind of comparing those AI to human characteristics. Should we speak on like volition and emotion as well? I feel like those would be two important things to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Is what volition's the will, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of, I don't know. It makes me kind of think of like, with like the will to continue and like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what do you do when you're faced with impossible odds?
Right.
And it's like, a robot's probably gonna calculate the odds and quit.
Mm-hmm.
Where, I mean, you see some of those, like, the human emotions that sometimes are, I'm trying to think, somewhere I read something, or, oh, I know where. I was reading this, you know, Ted Decker book. Well, actually, I listened to it as an audiobook, but it was kind of delving into the idea of like emotions, and where in the world they basically decided that like emotions were the weakness. They were a
What
weakness.
types of emotions? Just any?
Like all emotions. Like, so that like, because you know, people do, you know, people, you know, give up or whatever for love, or, you know, but they were just like, so emotions are, and so basically it's like, in the book they were able to, you know, figure out like what genes or whatever matched up to the different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And so they basically, you know, released this virus on the world.
Spoiler alert.
That it doesn't really spoil the book, because it's like you figure it out. It's kind of the backstory. But they released this virus on the world that takes away all emotions, except for they leave fear. So they leave it so that the only emotion anybody can feel is fear. Because that way they can use fear to control.
Mm-hmm.
But sort of by the end of the book, you kind of get to figure out that, like, while some of those, you know, other emotions like love and compassion and stuff like that are, some people view them as weakness, but they're also what provides us with our greatest strength.
Doesn't love trump fear?
Yeah, that's what the Bible says. Perfect love casts out fear. But I was just thinking about it because dived into the whole. Because whether you view emotions as a weakness or a strength.
I mean, a robot wouldn't be capable of feeling fear. I mean, I don't know how you program something like that. I mean, other than just calculating odds. And that wouldn't even be fear, that'd just be intelligence. Like, that's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know how you'd begin to break
Put
down
that in a formula.
what fear is.
Yeah.
It'd be way easier to explain it by saying, in this situation I would be afraid.
Right, but in some other, for me, you might be afraid, but I wouldn't,
Right, yeah.
That's just the thing. And I think that speaks about our uniqueness, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why we're not all the same is because we'd be basically robots if we were all the same, following the same little formula for fear or love, or there'd be no uniqueness or individuality or diversity.
Yeah.
Can't forget diversity.
That's an inside joke.
It's true, though.
Yeah. And some of it's you think about, thinking about, how we're not all the same and diversity and stuff, that diversity gives us strength, because we don't all have the same weakness. We also don't all have the same strength.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of brings you back to Proverbs and talking about, 3 strands are not easily broken.
Isn't that Ecclesiastes as well?
Yeah, it might be in Ecclesiastes. I'm not as familiar with my Old Testament. I need to get better at it.
I just know that's one of the big verses for 3 chords are better than 1 or 2. That's usually a big wedding verse.
Yep. As always, you're right and I'm wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Another inside joke. We should probably keep those. Yeah. It's Ecclesiastes 4:12. So your memory serves you well.
I did take a class on it though. Hopefully that's the main reason I remembered it.
Yeah, it says, though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves, and a cord of 3 is not easily broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's is a robot gonna, to try to think through that,
Is it gonna collaborate with something else?
Yeah, and to think through the process of, okay, I need to, produce these, different robots with different strengths and different, weaknesses, and to be able to put together the right strength and weaknesses together so that they work.
And how you know if they're going to be willing to work with one another or not? Or is this
Yeah.
all selfish little robots doing their own thing? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just a lot of problems. Or just I don't know, just thinking about will and stuff, and I don't know. This is something I kind of thought about. I was right before Thanksgiving. I was watching the Two Towers.
Oh, you got like Lord of the Rings.
Yep, Two Towers, Lord of the Rings. Sorry. Um, but I always when I watch it, I always when you know uh, Saruman starts cutting down all the trees to build his army. I always think like if he keeps doing that, like there's gonna come a point where he's you know he's gonna run out of trees. It's like there's only so many trees.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't think that through. Like and it's like, is a robot, isn't an artificial intelligence gonna be able to think through all of those things? But I think we may have beaten the subject pretty well.
I think we hit a lot of major points.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it's something kind of interesting to think about, and just I don't know.
Especially just with the information and all the technology in the digital age, I guess is what we're calling it. In education, we're calling it digital age.
Yeah.
It's just ever expanding. There's new things every day that seems like they're coming out with questions that you want to kind of think about
Yeah.
while living in this society.
Yeah. I think I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to see like how like the Bible like affects all areas of life.
Mm-hmm.
But
Any final thoughts or profound last words?
oh, I'm not
You had
good at this.
one big idea you like to just wrap everything up with.
One. I guess we'll end with this. Trying to make something that is better than what God has created would be like trying to compete with God in the chopped kitchen. That's what we're gonna end it with.
Okay,
You like it?
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
But yeah. So that's how we're gonna end the show. Show number 1, with more to come.
Uno. Uno.
Uno.
Actually,
Should have had an Uno card.
Uno. That's
Ah,
right. That's right.
that's
That's a
right.
win. That's a win. Joe won.
Uh, yeah, that's the way we roll. The guests come prepared.
Yeah, it just happened to be out on my desk.
Uh,
Which I'm actually going to play for the first time. I haven't opened them up yet. Got them for graduation.
high school?
College. This last May.
Uh,
I think there's 2 decks in here, too. I need to see. That'd be sweet. It says 104 cards. That's probably 2 decks, isn't it?
I feel like that's just one. Uno decks are
Well,
really big.
oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's
And
see.
this is what we call the post show.
The post show.
Yeah. This is the stuff. This is
Hey,
the stuff that you only get if you come out and watch us live.
it is 2. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, I know. It's one deck split in half. What's really fun is to buy 2 packs of Uno cards, and
Yeah.
then take the word cards out of one deck and put it in the other deck. So then you play and you have twice as many Uno cards, twice as many word cards. And it's
Which
fun
ones
just
are
like
word cards? I haven't played forever.
that would be like the reverses, skips, draw twos, wilds, draw fours.
Oh, okay.
I played a lot of Uno growing up, so
Well, we had Uno Attack where the thing actually spit cards back at you if you.
uh,
That one was
never
kind of fun.
I never played that.
Because you could be down to one last card and just like, nope, you lose. Or you just get a whole deck of cards spit at you. I don't know, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, there's sometimes we'd play a couple different variations. One would be if there was only like a couple people playing, you play like Jumbo Uno, and then you like deal like 20 or 30 cards to start off with.
Wow.
Yeah. Or there was what do we call it? Add-on Uno we'd play. And it'd be like if you're playing and like somebody played a draw 2 on you,
Yeah.
rather if you had a draw 2, then you could play it and then the next person would have to draw 4. But if they had a draw 2, they could play it and the next person would have to draw 6. And you just go until somebody didn't have a draw 2.
Yeah, I played that way though too.
Okay. Yeah, that's always lots of fun.
Because like when you hit draw 2 from this dispenser thing,
Uh-huh.
you press the button, it'll give you a card. Press the button, it'll give you another card. But sometimes it would attack you with more, and so that was the part of the game that made it fun. So, if you had to draw, you might have to draw more than just 2 by hitting the button, basically. Hit the button one time, might spit out 5 cards. Hitting the button again, like spit out 20.
Sounds like
So it wasn't
be
really like draw 2. It was more like press the button twice.
right.
You only get 2. So
Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it could be interesting.
I wonder if we still have all the equipment. We always get a movie and some sort of board game for Christmas. It's been a tradition. We watch a movie and play board games. That was one of them one year. I think we played that more than anything else that year. I don't know. It only seems like we play board games on Christmas Day, every other time of the day or year, we're just doing other things together.
Yeah.
But I know Rachel and her family likes to play board games all the time, so I'm gonna have to practice a lot more.
Yep. Do you have any like special like food or something that you guys fix for Christmas?
Usually, like, since it's, I mean, Christmas, Jesus' birthday, we do some birthday cake, but not really birthday cake. It's like a breakfast birthday. So we'll either make like, I don't know. Sometimes we make like a muffin cake. It's just basically muffin, like chocolate chip muffin in a cake pan.
Oh, uh-huh.
So instead of individually wrapped muffins, it's just one giant muffin. So that's fun. Sometimes we do monkey bread. Monkey bread's good. But yeah, usually that's what we have. A couple times we got birthday balloons. Just let them go. Filled with helium, and just let them go. But since we kind of already did like the, I don't know, not the traditional, but the, I guess all the present aspects of Christmas, whatever you want to call that, we'll actually be able to do more, I think, on Christmas Day. Meaningful stuff. On
Right.
Christmas Day. What about you? Any Christmas traditions or foods that you have to have during Christmas time?
I mean, usually on Christmas Day we get up and we do stockings and then presents after that. Usually get them both done before lunch.
Is your family the one that gets up real early, or you sleep in on Christmas Day?
We usually get up as early as the parents let us.
Yeah. It's been nice since like getting older. I remember when you're younger, you just like can't sleep, just can't go to bed, and you wake up early. Once you're older, so you get woken up, and then everyone else is waiting for you to go celebrate. So that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. The group that's that's part of the people who have pushed it back later has become bigger and bigger as we've gotten older. More of us like to sleep in,
Yeah.
but yeah. And then we usually have we kind of like do kind of snacky kind of stuff uh for lunch. It's usually like cheese, crackers, like sometimes like a little ham or tuna salad or ham salad.
Do you have a Christmas dinner later that night?
Yeah, we fix LSQ, if you know what that is.
No idea.
It's this like Danish roll thingy. It's like a ball of like dough.
Okay.
Uh, a little bit pancakey, but
Are they individualized, or is it just one giant ball?
no, there's like you make a bunch of them that are like
Oh,
maybe around the size, a little bit smaller than a baseball.
okay.
But yeah, then people, you can eat them by either, dipping them in sugar or sometimes people put jelly in, like kind of like peel it open and put jelly in the middle,
Oh.
or some people eat it with like, bacon or sausage. Um, but yeah, it's something as a tradition we got from my dad's parents. It's kind of something that on that side of the family they've passed down.
So is it like so it's like a You're saying like a bowl of bread, almost
It's a ball.
a ball of
Ball.
bread.
Yeah. But it's kind of pancakey. Like it's sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is that once a year?
It started off as it was just Christmas, but all of us like it a lot. So then there was like one time somebody picked it for like a birthday meal. So it's kind of it started off as it was just a Christmas tradition, and now it's kind of we have it more often. But it's still
Nice.
fairly rarely, so it's still kind of a
Big deal.
big deal on Christmas. And there's sometimes when it'll be like, we'll have it on Christmas, and then like the week after or something, grandparents will come over, and so then we'll do it again with them or something like that, which is always great.
You look
But yeah,
forward to your grandparents coming so you get those things.
uh, but yeah, I should see. Well, I should learn how to make it, which require you have to get like a special cast iron pan to make it.
Hmm.
That's got like a little ball cups in it. Or I guess I just have to convince my grandparents to make it and take you out there so that you can try it. Because you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, those, they're anything like you're describing, they sound great.
They're really yummy.
Those cookies your mom made were pretty good.
Yep.
I just saw an advertisement on TV, or maybe it was over the internet, that they actually have Ritz dipped chocolate crackers. I mean, they didn't have the peanut butter in them, but they were almost the same type of idea.
Yeah.
I was like, huh. It's weird how like you like learn something or you find out something new and then you see it more often after you. Have you ever had that?
Yes, many times.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing I think I noticed the most is like when you get a new car
Yeah.
and all of a sudden everybody has that car.
The same car.
Before like nobody did,
Yep. I know what you mean.
but I mean it's that same kind of idea. But yeah, that's pretty much all that we do.
Yeah, we usually like my grandpa's birthday is Christmas Eve, and then I think my grandparents' anniversary is either the same day or like on Christmas. So we have a really big like party at my grandparents' house on Christmas Eve, and then the next day we go to my great aunt and uncle's house, and they have like a big Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner for us all.
Uh-huh.
Because we do Thanksgiving at my grandparents, and then Christmas at my great grandparents, just like a big dinner type deal. And so that's always been something. Recently, we've been doing a ping pong tournament
That
at
sounds like
my
fun.
every Christmas. I've always finished second or third. The first year we did it, um, it was probably after my freshman year here at Grace, and like I'd gotten so much better just playing at Grace, and um, got like third at our tournament. got beat by my uncle, or my dad and my uncle. And then the second year, after just playing more ping pong at Grace and just getting used to better competition, I just started finishing in the top two. Well, second, because Micah started coming to our family dinners and stuff, and he's better than me.
So he's become your arch nemesis.
Kind of when it comes down, but he won't be here this winter. He'll be in Florida. So I'm taking the throne. I'm taking it for the first time. I'm hoping. Even though I haven't played consistently, I still feel like it's like one of those traits that once you learn it and play it a little bit after so long, you're going to be right back where you were. You left off. And that was me fighting in the championship with Micah. No one else really could beat us.
So do you guys like draw up a bracket or something?
Yeah, we do the whole bracket. We do round robin stuff. I mean, we don't do the whole, depending on how many people play, we do round robin for the most part. And then we seed. And usually, I don't know, it's been fun because I haven't been the best guy. So I'll get to one of like the final rounds and haven't had lost yet. So I have to fight my way all the way back through the losers bracket, so I just get to play more.
So I guess you have to lose once. Get in the loser bracket.
Yeah. You have to lose once to get in the losers bracket.
And now everything goes quiet.
Yeah. The awkward silence.
You should start your own podcast now.
Start my own. If I was going to do anything like this, it would be I would do it over Twitch, and it'd be just a gaming channel.
You wouldn't like think about doing like a Bible one or something like that?
Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah, I thought about. I don't know. I mean, I've thought about doing like a food one, but
Oh yeah.
I only have so much time.
Hey.
Plus, then I feel like I'd want to buy more like fresh ingredients for that. I don't have the money to do that right now. But
Could be Peter's kitchen, Dan. Your other channel.
but if I start coming up with more than one podcast, I may have to come up with like a overarching like network name.
Mm-hmm. Peter's Den.
Yeah, there's like several of them that that I've listened to that are grouped underneath they call it the Geeks Network, which I actually may be able to, I might they've got a spot that like what do you call it? You can kind of submit podcast ideas or whatever to like start your own podcast on their network. So I might be able to slide this one on there. Be kind of nice. Just help drive traffic. But yeah. it'd be kind of interesting because they talk a lot about like Windows and stuff,
Yeah.
where I would probably talk a lot about Linux and probably a little bit Mac.
What did in your first pilot episode? What did you say was your, I guess, your mission for your podcast? This podcast.
I just kind of put it down as like, I kind of put it as, I think I put it as three things. We're kind of talking about ethical issues like this show, and then looking at like taking old technology and repurposing it for new uses.
Hmm.
'Cause, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do with, like, just taking an old computer that's got like only has like a, you know, like a Pentium 4, and, you know, maybe a half a gig RAM, that you can do all kinds of stuff with that.
Yeah.
And then kind of as a third thing, you know, potentially some talking about just new technology as it comes out, kind of thing.
Yeah. Or new programs too. Did you think about that?
Think about what?
Like new programs or apps.
Yeah, I mean, that would have to do with like new technology and stuff that comes out, whether it be apps, you know, software or hardware.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I've got some ideas slotted down. Let's see if I can pull up my. Pull up my little.
I'm really excited for this wedding.
Excited for what?
This wedding.
That's who's wedding?
Ryan and Allison.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, I think I'm gonna like it just because it's two of my really good friends. You know, instead of just knowing one person and not knowing the other.
Right.
Like, I knew Levi. I've known Levi all my life, but I didn't know Hayden as well.
Right.
And like even with my other friends, my other friend was getting married or got married around the same time as Levi. It's like I hardly knew his girlfriend, fiance, but it seems like Ryan and Allison I've known for 4 now, going on the 5th year.
Right.
So it's been cool to be a part of their friendship and stuff. And kind of also with like Chris and Jen, just having Jen in all of our classes and growing up with Chris, I think that'll be a fun wedding as well. And I'm having weddings galore this year.
Yeah.
I said there's probably 5 of my friends are getting married. Like 4 of them are marrying each other, which is part of it. And then Morgan's getting married.
Right.
And then Rachel's brother's getting married. I'll probably go to his wedding. And then my cousin's getting married. One of my cousins on my mom's side's getting married. I don't know. I potentially have like 6 weddings I'm going to. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3,
Yeah.
5. And
Yeah.
I'm
Not
in
this.
3 of them.
Yeah, not this weekend, but it'll be the 19th and 20th. I gotta run sound for a wedding over at the
Anyone
chapel.
I would know?
I don't know. I only know last names.
Okay, last name.
The 2 last names are Foster and Hughes.
No, I'm not sure.
But yeah, some of the ideas I've got kind of come, you know, written down. I guess typed down are I thought about talking about some things like the Kodi front end, thing
Yeah,
is on the
yeah.
TV, and then also the back end type part of it, Mammoth TV. My Mahi, I was working on that. Probably some stuff that'll probably come up a little bit sooner than that. I thought about talking about Republic Wireless. I thought that'd be kind of a cool thing.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I can get a hold of somebody and see if I can get somebody from them to come out and be on the show. I don't know. I don't know if they would even do something like that. But that would be huge. That would be huge if I can get somebody from them. And then of course, sometime I do a show on the TV antenna I built because I feel like that kind of fits into the theme. Just kind of reusing stuff, doing stuff, doing cool, dealing with like modern technology, but reusing old technology to do it, or just what someone else would see as junk and throwing away. I mean, that's how I got most of my computers. And Grace is gonna be doing some cleaning out soon, so who knows? Maybe
They're gonna do
some
what?
more computers will be coming my way. Except this time, I think I'm gonna be the one in charge of clearing out. It's like I gotta at least think through this. I figure we gotta get rid of some of those old junks. I mean, Grace isn't gonna use them for anything. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a thought. And then if I can get this Amazon Associates link going and get people actually buying stuff through them, then I can get a little bit of a money flow that way, and possibly to see what I've done on a couple podcasts where they will take that money and then like viewers who've been watching and stuff will be able to like say, hey, I wanted to try this thing out, and then
Mm-hmm.
like I'll buy it for them, but then they'll come on the show and review it, kind of a thing, once they've used it. And then of course they get to keep the item, so it's kind of a win-win for both sides.
Win-win. Win-win. Oh, that's weird.
But and of course I gotta think of some more. I gotta look at some more possible more ethical kind of topics because I definitely want to delve into some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we'll see where this thing goes. I mean, I guess it's got to go somewhere. But, I mean, it's got to go up because we can't go any lower. I mean, I suppose it could stay the same, but hopefully not. But I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Sounds good.
I think the post show is now turned into the post show. But yep, I'll call it a wrap till whenever I get the next one up. Hopefully next week. But we'll see how the schedule works.
Good deal.
Yeah, and we'll have to have you.
Glad the mic to work. And not the mic, I guess, the camera.
Yeah.
Took forever, though. Stupid computer.
Well, you know, it is a Windows, so
Yeah, it is ancient.
I had to get that in there. You just lined it up perfectly for me.
Yeah,
but we'll have to have.
If you're going to give me a Mac, then I won't be complaining probably as much.
Well, first of all, you have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff on Amazon using my Amazon Associates link. And if you can get it so that I get $1,000 through it, which I think would mean, I'm trying to think of what that would be. My head's not functioning properly at the moment. Let's see. If we took 1,000. I think that's the percentage. Yeah, I think you'd have to buy like $16,667 worth of stuff on Amazon. If you do that using my Amazon Associates link, I will buy you a MacBook Air.
A MacBook Air? Not even just.
Well, okay. I might be like at the lowest end of the MacBook Pro for 1,000.
Hey, I mean, there's got to be a discount for educators too.
I might be able to get something, but it would probably get it down to. I mean, if I got the Apple Care plan for you and everything.
Oh yeah.
Probably around 1,000. So you need about. You need to buy stuff. So yeah, I think that's. I'd have to double check that. It might be more. I don't know. I forget what my percentage point. But I mean, I can get you a MacBook, like a Mac Mini, for cheaper than that. Where's my settings options? Where? Somewhere it told me this. Widgets. Reports, maybe?
I hate my phone and autocorrect.
Yeah, right now I have $0. Nobody's bought anything. But I haven't started putting it out yet. There's gotta be someplace. No.
There we go. Alright, I gotta go take my contacts out. I fear that my eyes are gonna be contacts are gonna be glued to my eyes.
Okay. Then we'll hang up.
Alrighty.
Call this a show or wrap.
Wrap it up. I'm hanging up.
Alright.
Later.
Later.